like in this program, we're journeying along with people, and I'm growing and I'm changing and I'm realizing parts of myself that are still like keeping the Father at bay. Because like, what if you saw that part? Would you be embarrassed? Would you be, can I be vulnerable and still be a man? Can I, like, what are the parts of my own self that I'm sort of sectioning off or alienating from my relationship?
It's funny, right? Because like hearing you say that, I think to myself, like if we were in the right environment and you shared your deepest fears and embarrassments, it would only make me love you more.
100%, man.
And I'm sure you'd feel the same way.
Absolutely.
But those things to me are what I hate about myself.
I know.
And I'm convinced that if they came out, I think we got all, I assume I'm not special. Like, I assume that we all are dealing with that.
No, 100%, man. That is exactly how I feel. And I feel most close. Time and again, I feel most close to people when I see their heart. Like what, that line, Benedict's papal motto, cor loquitur, heart speaking to heart. When I get to see the entirety of it and you don't have to cut parts of your heart off to be in relationship with me, I feel like so often we're cutting parts of ourselves off or hiding parts of ourselves in order to stay in relationship with people. Because I don't quite trust that if you saw me, if you knew me, you could still love me.
And that's a lot of why I love being a therapist.
Yeah.
I was working with somebody recently who, even in our intake, was just talking about how she always feels like she needs to keep control of her environment and that she's really afraid of that lack of control, of being weak. And she's telling me that along with some other things. And I just stopped her and I said, how was this to share that with me? She's like, oh, it was so relieving. It was so good. And then I pointed that out to her. I was like, you say that you need control all the time, but just now you were showing the parts of me that were weak and coming into this environment that's out of control, like not in your control. And you actually found relief, that it was a joy for you to be in a state of weakness. And then later in another session, we were talking about how she has all these places of shame and was able to share them with me. And again, we went through that same process of like, how was it to share that with me? And she's like, so relieving. I felt so seen and loved, and like it just opened up a lot for me. And again, that pattern of the place where you're most ashamed, where you close it down the most, actually can be like a site of like a place of deep intimacy and joy and delight. And I think that's what the Father wants for us, is these places where it's like, he doesn't want us to just be better at controlling things and be like better at not being ashamed about these things. But he's like, I actually want to go and let you know that where you're weak and where your shame is, like, I want to bring delight there. I want to bring peace there. I want to bring relief there. I want to be there so that you can be there and be totally free.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the video, like, and subscribe.